So yesterday we delved on the LCI initiative in terms of the scope, understanding the project, and also the background. So we have a look at what are the areas, the LCI identified areas earmarked for these projects for the country, and we shall also in the third part of this evaluation shall look at what is our position about the LCI initiative, how should it be approached by actors, which projects will come in terms of helping aspects of food and nutrition security. So the first area was Galana Kulalu, which is actually famously known as Galana Kulalu Irrigation Scheme. So it has an LCI and site land marked of 10,000 acres. So it's under the National Irrigation Authority for Operation and Agricultural Development Corporation, that is the landowner, according to the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock and Development. Then we have Bura Irrigation Scheme. So the area has around 10,000 acres that are farmers are currently under irrigation, but the LCI land site is 1,500 acres. So it's in Tana River County and under National Irrigation Authority, that's the NIA. So in total, the Bura irrigation scheme has around 25,000 acres of land, and 12,000 have been already developed. Then 1,500 is up for grabs for investors. So in terms of energy, it has generators for power. Then there is a building work for more reliable and sustainable source of electricity. Then the site is free from any registered incumbrances of active litigators. So it's free from any form of legal injunction. Then the land requires just titling and specific demarcation for the allocated LCI site. In terms of soil, the soil is suited for flood irrigation, characterized by red soils and with a wide crop of possibilities for crops. So it is in a semi-arid climate, which the installation of proper irrigation is highly suitable. The other part is Egerton University. So it is situated in the northwest region, and it is an area with outstanding achievements in agriculture and science. So it has a vast expanse of 2,600 acres of farmland, and 200 is a acre block with agro-science park for the Land Commercialization Initiative. So 200 is the segment that is available for crop production and pasture. So the opportunity here is that the climate is quite conducive, and it supports a wide range of production without any need for irrigation. Then the soils conducive for cultivation. The pH is neutral, around 6.8, and the salt issues ample organic matter content, and the benefits from a presence of a power grid. So it provides a reliable and readily available source of electricity. So rain-fed agriculture is quite productive, and it requires irrigation to benefit from the periods when rains are minimal, and the university dam is also available. So the area is well demarcated in terms of survey status, and is also there are verification efforts on ongoing to ascertain that the allocated site is free from any litigation. The other area is Kiambere Farm, that is in Mount Kenya. Mount Kiambere Farm is borders the Tana River, the Tana and Athi River Development TARDA, which is the owner. So the Tana and Athi River Development Authority are the owner, identified as land owner for this case, representing the state. It is within the Embu County, and has the LCI site is 1,000 acres. So in terms of suitability, so it is reforestation projects and fruit trees and irrigation and wildlife conservancy and solar energy production. So in terms of proximity to a power plant, it is available to be able to tap the opportunity. Then incumbrances, The verification efforts ongoing to ascertain the allocated site is free from any litigation by the government. Then the soil is adapted to a large scope of crops, and the climate is a semi-arid, suitable for irrigation with proper irrigation. In terms of accessibility, the site benefits from connectivity with a well-constructed asphalt road between the both Thika and Nairobi. So it's very easy to reach the Kiambere site. So proper demarcation is required in terms of ascertaining the LCI site. And the other part, the fifth area that has been identified is Kirima Field Unit. So the Kiriman Field Unit is the biggest of 22 agricultural sites owned by the NYS, that's the National Youth Service, as its semi-autonomous state corporation that trains youth about crucial national matters. So the unit specializes in livestock production, tree planting initiatives, and preservation of wildlife. So the site summary, the Kiriman Field Unit offers a suitable environment for an organization aiming to develop food production for the Kenyan market, specifically focusing on livestock grazing. The site requires a strong management capabilities to effectively navigate the pasture production conditions. So the allocated site has a black cotton soil with very high clay content and it's best for pasture production. So the energy segment, there is works for connection to national grid to be completed in 2023. Then the climatic conditions with sufficient irrigation, agriculture is viable, and the site is situated in an arid climate. So it's easily accessible to and connection to a good asphalt road, and it has no encumbrances registered against the land. And proper demarcation is what's required to have the land mapped out. The rainwater is available for harvesting. And the sixth farm identified is, so the LCI site for the Kirimam before that is 20,000 acres for a serious investor. So they'll be looking forward to a large scale but to develop this area. So the areas you can venture into food production, can focus on livestock grazing, and opportunity for pasture production for commercialization. Then the other part is Masinga Farm, that is 1,000 acres in the reservoir that was commissioned in 1982, and it's 150 kilometers from Nairobi by Nairobi Kangoni Highway. So TARDA is still the management authority, that is the Tana and Athi River Development Authority, and it has set aside 3,000 hectares, so which is classified as arable and suitable for agricultural development in Embu. So the LCI allocated acreage is 1,000 acres, and the topsoil is attractive and possesses a broad adaptability to support a wide range of crops. So the climate is a semi-arid, so proper irrigation, highly sustainable for agriculture in terms of looking at solar opportunities and the green energy. Then the site benefits from convenient location through a connection of an asphalt road, so for ease transportation of agricultural inputs and produce. So there is an advantage of being close to a major power production plant, providing easy linkage and access to reliable electricity supply. Then irrigation is essential for supporting two crop cycles within a year. So it is free from any litigation that is active. Then the site also requires a dedicated CSR, that's corporate social responsibility, to engage the local community in mutually beneficial relationships and activities for fostering sustainable social and economic growth. Then the site requires demarcation to establish clear boundaries. So the seventh farm LCI site is Tana Delta Irrigation Project. So the project spans across Tana River and Lamu counties, covering 10 kilometers north of Malindi on the left bank of Tana River. So it offers an opportunity of gravity-fed irrigation, supporting diverse agricultural production such as corn, rice, watermelon, green drums, onions, and pasture. So the water source is Tana River, and one of Kenya's major rivers with 1,000 kilometers course. So the delta is partitioned into blocks, and LCI project has allocated block 7 and 8. If you look at the map and access the document, so the Tana Delta Irrigation Project presents an opportunity for a private investor to operate and leverage the vast surface area available, utilizing the existing facilities for efficient rice marketing and sales. So it's versatile, suitable for a wide range of crops and flood irrigation, featuring adequate pH levels, well-balanced nutrient content, and the absence of stones, making the site generally favorable for agricultural productivity. So in terms of energy, it is equipped with access to reliable power grid, so stable source of electricity is available. So the site has a climatic range from semi-arid to semi-humid, which is conducive to agriculture, and with the adequate irrigation, you can be able to spar. So it has a good access to asphalt roads. Then there are efforts for verification on encumbrances to ascertain a located site being free from any litigation, and that the site requires proper demarcation to establish clear boundaries. So in terms of water availability, first, in terms of the site, LCI site, is the Tana irrigation scheme. So on the background, Tana irrigation scheme is suitable for medium-scale investor willing to develop food production. And the scheme is the oldest in Kenya. It's part of the Hola town, spanning 9,000 acres. So it also utilizes gravity-fed system, drawing water from Tana River just like irrigation. So crops growing pasture. So block 7 and 8 is also located in the LCI project. So it lies between the primary water canal and the Garissa Malindi asphalt road. It's designed for future expansion. So the area located is 1,533 acres in Tana River County, and its landowner is the National Irrigation Authority holding for the state. So the soils are suitable for flood irrigation and offers a vast range of possibility for crop cultivation. The climate, the site presents a favorable environment for agriculture, and it is quite easily accessible through an asphalt road within the counties. Then there is an ongoing construction taking place for the high voltage power line that meets the area's growing demands for power, and the river flow at the site matches the installed pumping capacity, ensuring efficient water supply, while the water quality is highly suitable for irrigation purposes. In terms of encumbrances, there is none or litigation against it. The located LCI site requires proper demarcation to establish clear boundaries. Now, those are the sites proposed by the government, but there are also other opportunities areas because in terms of the LCI proposition by the government was for the government-owned state land and also private areas that are still underutilized and can be put in place, and also amalgamation of small parts into commercial lands to enhance commercialization, to enhance utilization of mechanization in enhancing productivity. Now, what are the investment and protection guarantees for the LCI project? So this is governed by the Constitution of Kenya 2010 in terms of the contracts and domestic legislations. So, like the right to property and life under the Constitution of Kenya is under the Bill of Rights, and it guarantees the safety of life and property, whereby every person has the right to life. That is Section 41, subject to Article 65, that stipulates on the right to life and right to own property within this part of the country, that is Kenya. Then we have the Foreign Investment Protection Act, FIPA, that's the revised of 2016. This is an act of parliament for the protection from deprivation of property, so that there is no compulsory repossession of property uh, without following the necessary protocols, like for the interest of the country public safety, public order and morality, public health, and planning and development, and also a justification for cause of any hardship that may result to any person having that property. Then we have the investment guarantees and dispute settlement mechanisms. So the investment promotion and protection agreements, the IPPAs, and the BITs, bilateral investment treaties, are available. So these are reciprocal arrangements to protection and promotion of investments, and that is intended to provide investors of one state investing into the territory of the other state with special protections under the international law. So Kenya is also part of the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, MIGA. So to handle issues of currency incompatibility, those are the risks, and an honoring of sovereign financial obligations. Then Kenya is also a member of ATI, that is the ATI, Africa Trade Insurance Agency. So to cover investors within the country on credit and insurance products to reduce the business risk and cost of doing business in Africa. Then we have the International Center for Investment Disputes, ICID, and other the industrial court, which are other mechanisms that are available for investors to protect their investment within the African segment.